Today we're taking a look around this 1996 Toyota Hilux Surf. This is our first 185 generation Hilux Surf, the KZN185 body with the 3-liter turbo diesel, the 1KZ TE. This one has a super clean body. It was an auction grade 4 in Japan, one of the higher grades we can get for vehicles of this age. Everything looks really, really nice. We just gave it a good wash. Quick detail. So this is an updated body for 1996. It's a little bit bigger than the older generation, the 130 generation. This one is a higher trim level it's the SSRX with the sunroof and a few power options in the interior. Has this awesome surf decal on the side. And some nice Yokohama Geolandar tires, some all-terrains. This one has 144,000 kilometers on the odometer. You can see interior's changed a little bit from the older ones. A little bit more space in here, more headroom. Seats are in great shape, and these are pretty well bolstered, good for off-roading. You've got the power rear window control there, idle up for when you're warming it up in the morning, fog light switch, aftermarket radio, everything else is all original. You also have a turbo timer installed, which is always great to see with these turbo diesels. Turbo timer just keeps it running, lets it cool down after you shut it off to keep the turbo healthy. Sounds great. So this one is part-time 4-wheel drive. You've got the push button here to engage 4-wheel drive, then you got 4 high, 4 low. And this is sort of like the Mitsubishi Super Select now. This is a little bit different from the older Hiluxes. 4-wheel drive you can actually use on dry pavement, kind of like an all-wheel drive, because it doesn't lock the center differential when you click that 4-wheel drive button. You know, click there, that will engage, that starts to blink. So it doesn't lock the center differential, you actually have to pull it down into 4 high lock there to engage that. So now I'll click the button, that all turns off. AC works great, blows nice and cold, heat works as well. Everything looks great in here. This one does not appear to have been a smoker. That doesn't look used. You got your Ect Power Switch here that basically gives you better acceleration, changes the transmission shift points a little bit. I'll try that rear window because that is a fairly typical failure point in these. All the way down, all the way back up, and at a reasonable pace. Usually they get tired over time and get pretty slow. That one is actually surprisingly pretty quick. You've got tilt on the sunroof there, goes all the way back. Then you've got the nice windscreen there, factory Toyota. You also get a slightly different little interface here just below the sunroof controls. I'll show you altimeter, barometer, a few different little screens there. You've got a compass and your outside temperature. These engines sound so good. That turbo noise is really kind of addicting. Runs great, sounds super healthy. And you can see I pulled the key out there and it's still running. You can cancel out the turbo timer there just by pressing that. So here in the rear seat, I've got half of it folded down, half of it up as it would normally be. So that's how it sits normally, and then you can fold everything. You fold the bottom of the seat forward and then the back down, and you've got a flat storage surface here. So that gives you a lot more storage space. Really, really helpful for hauling larger things. You got the full-size swing-out rear spare tire. And then new for the 185 generation, you can actually open the rear hatch without rolling the rear window all the way down. Previous generations, you had to roll that down before you could open. It had a little tailgate. Now it has this full hatch that swings up, just like a typical SUV. A little bit easier to work with than having to worry about that rear window. Underneath that seat there, you have all of your tools, the jack, all the factory stuff. In case of emergency, that's all still there. This little compartment is just some extra secret storage. Really, really clean back here. This interior is immaculate. It's actually really impressive. Octane grade 4C. C is an average grade for the interior. I'd say this one equates to almost a B, just in general condition. A little bit of fading on the center caps there and the wheels, but that's really the only sign of any wear on the outside. Faded front little grille guard there as well. You can easily mount fog lights to this. It also has some smaller fog lights installed down there. This thing just has a really, really nice stance to it. It gets extra fender flares over what we had in the US. Looks a little wider, sits a little wider, so these look awesome. So this one is still completely available. It just arrived. It's our 1996 Toyota Hilux Surf. This is the only one we have right now, and I expect it to go pretty quick. So if you're interested, check it out on the website, jdmcarandmotorcycle.com. Thank you for watching.